Okay, ladies and gentlemen, while I was here, half minute. Anyway, Stephanie got back to me, and I appreciate it. She said she's working in Victoria Junction now, has enjoyed my time here. When I asked her what that was, she said, I'm their media production specialist. Great, great, Stephanie. A lot of people refer to me as a photographer, though. I do photo and video. That is so cool. Congratulations. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Truth Chat Fun. I'm your host, Joe Oriani, celebrating the 52nd podcast. And I am so happy to do that. I'm probably the worst podcast in the world, but I tend to have fun. And if you come along for the ride, it would be fun too. Today, I'm going to do something really different. I'm going to go through a list of some of the podcasts I have and give you an update on some of the people I have interviewed. Some of them got back to me, some of them didn't. But that's okay. I know a lot. And hopefully we get all the information we can. And if you were interested and had any interest in these people, that you follow them wherever they are. Okay. Now, before I begin with the normal stuff, let me just say, if you want to reach me, again, it's truthchat.fun. It's WWE truthchat.fun. You can leave a message, you can leave a comment, you can leave a suggestion. Do remember, I do like to interview people, and since my last, I only did 17 interviews or 18 interviews this year. I know the problem is with that is then I get lost in my own little world. So we tend to have to work that out. Anybody wants to be interviewed? Anybody have a story they want to tell? They have something they want to say to me? Anything but abortion, I'll gladly chat with you. Now, please, and I will get back to you pretty quick, because this comes out every Wednesday morning, usually around midnight. And I'm running a little late today because I had other things to do. Anyway, with all that said, let's begin by talking about some of the people and some of the episodes that I have here. We're going to talk about the first episode I ever had. When I'd done that a year ago, speaking of clueless, I may be half clueless now, but back then I was totally clueless. I was nervous. It was a test. I have no idea what I said because I refused to listen to it. So anyway, that was the first thought of it. Then I figured I didn't know which way I wanted the podcast to go, though I say it is a podcast for everyone, but not everyone's paying attention. So with that in mind, I went next to national parks. I figured I'd see if people wanted to talk about national parks. They do not, but I went to every national park I could find, I talked about. Then finally, episode 3. Maddie's going to nursing school. Now, getting Maddie to do this particular podcast was really hard because I worked with her at Disney, and she thought I was really going to just talk about Disney, but that wasn't the case. I also had a book, Podcast for Dummies, and it said have a list of questions that you want to have. And I sent a list of questions to Maddie, and I thought she was going to have a heart attack. There was like 20 of them. But as I got her on, I told her to throw the list away because I got the wrong information. Maddie was going to be going to work in the labor room to do nursing with children, babies. I haven't heard back from Maddie today. She said she was going to send me a little update, but I have not seen it. So I'm hoping she's doing well and she's still in nursing school. The next one, I decided I didn't have anybody to interview again, and I decided to talk about rents. Rents in the New York area, rents in Orlando, rents in California, a few different places around the country where rents were absolutely off the charts. So I don't know what happened with that. Episode 5. That was a good one. It's titled Up the Wrong Ladder. Now that was with Desiree, who is my daughter. And I was not allowed, I'm still not allowed to tell you the company she works for. which is stupid, but it's like the company who cannot be named. Anyway, that gave me an update, so to let you all know, she's working as a full-time project manager. She has another baby girl named Arina, I'm sorry, and she got remarried in May. I don't know where they come up with these names for these kids, but who knows? Arina, I never heard that. Anyway, she's doing good, she's happy, and that's all that counts. I have a new son-in-law who I don't even know, who I probably don't even like, who doesn't like me, who doesn't say too much. Anyway, she keeps changing her name. I told her she's gotta get married first and then have the baby. She's doing things ass backwards. Now, producer, actor, Gavin. Gavin had an interesting story to tell. He talks about how he works behind the scenes, how he worked in front of the camera, that he was going to go back and his company was going to set up little films. I haven't heard back from Gavin, but following him on Facebook, all I know is that he's coming back to Disney to work in the college program. I don't know where he's going to work. He must be on block because he's not responding to anything. But that's okay, Gavin. Good luck. I'll run into you in a park in the rear end. California dreaming, coming to be an attorney. That was really good. That was Marlon. Yeah, Marlon was interesting because we had to do it twice. And I think he's got me on block too, because what I say about California. Anyway, he was going to become an attorney, but as I followed him along for the last year, I'm very happy to report that he spends a lot of time in different countries with his family. He seems to be enjoying himself. So again, I hope he's doing well and unblock me. Now, Jerry the artist. One of the things I liked about Jerry was when we did the actual podcast, if you go look at it and actually look at it on YouTube, you can see where he starts drawing by just doing easy little lines. I'm like sitting there just in awe. To this day, I look at his drawings that he has almost every day. He posts them on Facebook, and they are really cool. Some are really cool. Now, becoming a firefighter. That was Christopher. Christopher and I worked together in Legoland. He went on to become a firefighter. I am impressed because anybody who does service like that for the community deserves all the well wishes they can get and prayers. Now, I asked Chris to give me a comment, but he thought I wanted him to go on the podcast, so we got miscommunication along the way. So nothing new on Chris other than he's traveled to Caribbean with his girlfriend. He's happy, and that's all that counts. Episode 10. Army Sheriff Bola. Now, Miguel, I still see him every week as I bowl with him, or at least in the same bowling alley. I was on the same team for a while. He's still the same. He's obsessed with bowling. The day he got married, he tells us that he told his wife he was going to a bowling alley. So after the wedding, if he did or not, I have no reason to doubt him because I can see how bad he loves bowling. He puts that first and foremost above everything else. So anyway, that's what he still does right now. I last checked, he was in Ohio up at a tournament. He'll be coming back down because he's on a league down here in Winter Haven. And I will probably see him this Friday. But every time I walk by him, he thinks I'm a jinx because he knocks over his tricks. It's not me. It's his friend Jose. Anyway. All right. Becoming an attorney, Ethan. Ethan has a special place in my heart because he was a really nice guy. I'm sure he still is. Sorry. He's really a nice guy. And he was a lot of fun to tease and have fun with. He didn't take anything we said seriously. He just looked like, oh, Christ, here he goes again. But yes, Ethan sometimes didn't want to sit at the table. We had to make him sit at the table in the break room. But the day he was leaving, I didn't know it. And I was at another park and somebody texted me. And I went from one park to the other to say goodbye to him, but he was leaving. That was it. Now he's going to be an attorney. And he said he sent the following message. today. I graduated from Penn State. I'm back to Penn State. Oh, I'm back-to-back Penn State curling champion. I've gotten an internship at a local law office and am taking a gap before going back to school next year. And am looking to specialize in sports entertainment law. Yeah, just remember, small people, pleasing. Ethan, if you make a lot of money, good for you. I don't know what curling is. I think we can push a stair or something. But congratulations. Okay, now we go down to episode 12, leadership and dealing with the darkness. Haley is a person that works at Pizza Rizzo's. She is and still is up there a little bit. And one thing about Haley, I always notice her eyes very sad. And she was surprised, I think, when we got into talking about her supervisory skills. And I mentioned to her I could see through depression because we both suffer from it. So it was a pleasure talking to somebody like that. I did ask her for a comment, but she hasn't been on Facebook the last few days. So I'm not going to get anything. But again, Haley, good luck. When I see you up there at Hollywood Studios soon, I will actually remind you to answer your emails. Now, cross the I's, dot the I's and cross the T's. This was a man I know for a long time. He's doing real well. He's works up in New York State. And he wrote this: Joe, congratulations on 50 episodes. I've been busy since we talked, but got a chance to visit my friends in New Zealand or Australia. Man, I wish I was there. I also got to spend some time in Nashville at least last weekend for my friend's bachelor party. Travel for work is also starting to pick up again. Been to DC a few times in the last couple of months, and actually right now, work has been good but crazy with all the recent events related to banking over the last few months. Oh, I got that, Matt. I'll be leading a training team of new hires in a few weeks that will last into early part of next year. Other than that, not a whole lot of going on. Hope you are doing well, Matt. Matt, not a whole lot going on. Oh, you sound really busy. But I remember you posted the pictures of Australia and New Zealand, and Australia is on my bucket list to go out to the Outback for a couple of days. But hey, I can't afford it unless I hit the lottery. So wishful thinking, but that's what bucket lists are. Again, Matt, congratulations. We are all glad you're doing well, especially with the banks on now. Anyway, episode 14, A True Southern Belle. Stephanie was going to go into performing arts, do more productions and things like that behind the camera. I haven't heard from her. I did send her a text, and as of this moment, I did not get a reply. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, while I was here, anyway, Stephanie got back to me, and I appreciate it. She said she's working in Victoria Junction now, has enjoyed my time here. When I asked her what that was, she said, I'm their media production specialist. Great, Stephanie. A lot of people refer to me as the photographer, though. I do photo and video. That is so cool. Congratulations. Okay. Oh, Canada. This is William. She wrote the following. Here's the short summary you asked for. I'm currently doing work as extras in movies and TV shows and working currently in men's fashion over the summer. I'm currently going back to University of Quebec with the hope of getting a minor in French or German. Because that's what he wanted to do. He wanted to go overseas originally, from what the podcast said. So I'm glad he's working in movies and extra in videos, movies. Maybe, William, you could become famous and be like me. I'll sell you my autograph. Anyway, good luck with that. I'm glad you're doing well. I'm glad you responded yesterday. Okay, episode 16, helping veterans. Okay, Pam, who works for Women's Auxiliary up in New Jersey, she is my cousin. And I did send her an email, but unfortunately Pam has been stuck in a hospital for 3 or 4 weeks. I don't want to get into what's wrong with her, but hopefully she can escape from that insane asylum, as she likes to put it, and get out soon. But Pam, we're all wishing you on our prayers, and please get well soon. Okay, episode 19. This one was good. Working with abusers. This was an introduction to Katie Smith. Katie worked with domestic violence people, women, but before I get into that, she did 2 episodes. But that's what she likes, and that's what she does. And if you go listen to the interview, you'll be actually happy to hear it. And the second interview with Katie, we dealt with abused people. We gave out suggestions, we gave out phone numbers, I gave out websites, I gave out everything that you possibly need to get some help. Because do remember, love should not hurt. Again, Katie, thank you for your work. Thank you for getting back to me. I love the pictures you put up. And Katie wrote this. She said, I really don't have any exciting updates. I'm still working in my housing and domestic violence job. I did get another cat a few months ago, and his name is Brussels Sprouts, and he's very cute. Yes, Katie has posted pictures, cat pictures, but I enjoy them. Okay. Episode 20, British invasion. We were in a bowling alley one afternoon bowling, and we found out the British group was coming over from England, and they want to challenge us Yankees for a bowling tournament. It was a lot of fun. There was one professional bowler there. She was nice, and we actually had a lot of time. They beat us and took home the trophy. It's always next year. We told them that. So I think the bowling alley was wrong for not taking pictures and put it in the paper. When I suggested to them they do that, they said, why? Any publicity is great publicity, period. But they were a lot of fun with us. They were taking pictures, and every time I get a strike, nobody was taking a picture. I was really upset. Anyway. All right. Episode 21, I told you, it's about Katie Smith. We go over what abused people can do, how bad it is, things like that. Episode 23, The Russian Spy. This is one of my funny ones, because I really didn't get into all the details. I was on a cruise, and we were sitting down for breakfast. There were 6 of us at the table. 2 guys, myself, my wife, and we were sitting there, and this woman about 45 years old comes in and sits with her mother. We all asked where everybody's from, and of course, in all my wisdom and big mouth, the first thing I said to her, she told me she was from Russia, Ukraine. I asked if she was a spy. 30 minutes at least, we talked about Russia. She told me she knew all the secrets are buried. She still goes to the embassy to party, all the different embassies. I'm like, yeah, this girl's got something here. And anyway, she would talk to me the rest of the cruise. I don't know why. I did think she was a Russian spy. Anyway, and finally, Bitches in Blue. I don't remember the state trooper's name, but that was a hard interview to do because of where we were doing it. There's so much interference, there's so much static, and we're both in the same room. But she talks about how it is to be a state trooper in New Jersey, how she has to up her standards because of the men, but she's really a very nice person. And one of my better ones, and it's not the whole, episode 50, Day of Remembrance. Okay, what happened here was we talked about Memorial Day, and I wrote a speech, and if you go look at it and read it, you'll find it not too bad. But it's something that we all need to remember. We're all free because of the brave. And that, my friends, is all of my stuff for the last year. Next week begins year 2, and I'm hoping I can get people to interview. Come on, ladies and gentlemen, there's got to be somebody out there has something they want to tell us, whether it was about Vietnam, a funny wedding story, child support, anything but abortion, car accidents. Well, let's be so nice, Joe. Let's do everything negative. Hitting the lottery. That'll be my day, one day. I also did another episode with me, 40 years sober. It was my 40th year sober, clean and sober from drugs on that day. So I talk a little bit about that, here a little bit of a preview of an AA meeting, but not with all the details. Because you just all think I'm crazy. But I've done enough crazy things in my life, and I'm still here. Except for the Agent Orange that's killing me, we're doing fine. So again, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in. Don't forget the website is www.truthchat.fun. And remember what I say at every podcast I can. If you're not laughing, you're not living. Now have a nice day, and don't worry about Donald Trump. He comes up, he'll be on the news all day this week. So anyway, have fun, have a good night, and please get back to me. Okay? See y'all.